Hello. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Karen. I'm married to Mark and I'm a mum to two sons and work full time. My husband describes me as a very lucky lady because I'm married to such a fantastic husband. Anyway, I also happen to be a member of White Abbey Presbyterian Church. I think by now it is safe to say that we have all had enough of lockdown, pandemic and restrictions and all that this last year has thrown at us. To say the very least, it has been a challenging year for each of us in so many different and sometimes difficult ways. To be honest, I would have to say I am a bit fed up, frustrated at times, tired, and longing for the day when things return to a new normal, whatever that is. How have you been coping this year? I think for many people, the pandemic has caused us to reevaluate about where our priorities in life really lie. Perhaps it caused you to question what is really important to you. Perhaps you have felt isolated, being in the house, not able to mix with friends and family. Perhaps your life has changed radically due to a change in work and home life patterns. Perhaps you're experiencing a deep sense of pain or loss due to the passing of a family member or close friend. Maybe everything you relied upon has moved and shifted and suddenly your life has become quite unrecognisable. Perhaps like the words of a U2 song, the past year has perhaps made you realise you still haven't found what you're looking for. Life, however, goes on, and the past year has made me think about where you and I are placing our hope for the future. Placing our hope in material things or our health can be fragile, and suddenly we realise we are not as self-reliant as we had hoped. This challenge, by outside forces beyond our control, can strip away all that we relied on as being certain. We have been unable to control our circumstances, and for some people, this can cause great fear and anxiety. Let's face it, we all love to control our own circumstances. I work in the health sector and was redeployed for a period of time during the first lockdown. The experience was difficult due to a change in working hours, team members' role, and concerns that I would carry COVID-19 home to my family. At times, my thoughts and feelings about this showed my weaknesses and feelings. As a Christian, though, I knew that God would and did hold me fast. God in His Word tells us to expect trials and hardships of many kinds. And thankfully, no matter what life throws at us, there is a God who wants to walk through our days with us. In Psalm 91, verses 1 to 2, it says, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust." You see, there is one who walked this earth as we do and experienced great hardship and trials from different sectors of the community, so that when we come to Him, He understands our concerns and fears. I have many faults and feelings, as we all do, whether we want to admit it or not. Thankfully, because of His great love for us, Jesus paid the ultimate price for all the bad stuff we do down here on earth. God longs to dwell with us, to help us and give us encouragement on our path through life. I can honestly say, God so far has given me strength and endurance to face the future, whatever that may bring, and He longs for each of us to experience this. I challenge you to open a Bible and maybe even pray to God, even if you haven't done so in years. Perhaps read a gospel, the Gospel of Mark. God longs for us to bring our thanks and concerns to Him. We may not always get the answers we had hoped for, but God, if we put our trust in Him, can give us peace and help us face life's circumstances. God never gives up on us, and you may be surprised at the many different characters you read about in the Bible. God can use the strangest and most unlikely characters in wonderful ways. God can use us too if we let Him. And this gives me great hope. Maybe this pandemic has taught us all that there is much more yet to life to be discovered outside of our usual rhythms of working and eating in the pre-pandemic world. Let's face it, prior to lockdown last year, many have been just too busy to stop and think about what life may really be all about. I challenge you not to miss thinking about this and about where your hope for the future lies. It gives me great hope to know there is one in whom I can say I have found what it is I'm looking for.